Henry II of France was born on March 31, 1519, at the Château de Saint-Germain-en-Laye, near Paris. He was the second son of King Francis I of France and Queen Claude of France, daughter of King Louis XII. His birth occurred during a period of intense rivalry between the major European powers, particularly France and the Holy Roman Empire. His early years were shaped by conflict and diplomacy. When Henry was just 7 years old, in 1526, he and his older brother Francis were taken as hostages to Spain under the Treaty of Madrid, which King Francis I signed after being captured by Emperor Charles V at the Battle of Pavia. The two princes remained in captivity for over 3 years, and the harsh conditions in Spain left a lasting impression on Henry's personality, making him more reserved and somber than his father. Marriage and rise to power. In 1533, at the age of 14, Henry was married to Catherine de' Medici, a member of the powerful Italian Medici family. The marriage, arranged by Pope Clement VII, was more political than romantic, and Henry showed little affection for Catherine initially. Despite this cold start, the marriage eventually produced 10 children, several of whom would play significant roles in European history, including Francis II, Charles IX, and Henry III. Henry was heavily influenced by his longtime mistress, Diane de Poitiers, who was 20 years his senior. She wielded considerable influence over him and was even given the title of Duchess of Valentinois. Despite their unusual relationship, Diane maintained a central role at court and even worked with Queen Catherine on various matters. Accession to the throne. Henry became King of France on March 31, 1547, following the death of his father, Francis I. At the age of 28, he inherited a kingdom deeply involved in the Italian wars and religious tension within the realm. His reign would be marked by continued foreign wars, internal religious strife, and a desire to strengthen royal authority. One of Henry's first acts as king was to reaffirm France's alliance with the Pope against the Holy Roman Empire. He also continued his father's anti-Habsburg policies, engaging in wars against Emperor Charles V. His military campaigns brought some successes, especially in northern Italy and the Rhineland, but they were costly and largely inconclusive. Religious policies and internal affairs. Henry II's reign saw the beginning of serious conflict between Catholics and Protestants, Huguenots, in France. As a devout Catholic, Henry sought to suppress the growing Protestant movement. He established the Chamber Ardent, Burning Chamber, a special court dedicated to trying heretics, and supported the Inquisition and other severe measures to root out Protestantism. The Edict of Chateaubriand in 1551 further restricted Protestant worship and increased penalties for heresy. Though these policies were intended to maintain religious unity, they only fueled resentment and deepened divisions in the kingdom. Foreign policy and wars. Henry II's reign was consumed by warfare. In 1551, France launched the Italian War of 1551–1559, also known as the Habsburg-Valois War, aligning with several Italian states against the Habsburgs. France captured several territories, including Metz, Toul, and Verdun, which were later secured by the Treaty of Cateau-Cambrésis in 1559. One of the major military victories of Henry's reign occurred at the Battle of Renty in 1554, where French forces successfully repelled a powerful imperial army led by Charles V. Henry's generals, including Francis, Duke of Guise, gained fame during these campaigns. In 1558, England, then ruled by Mary I, lost Calais, its last remaining possession in France, to French forces under Francis, Duke of Guise. This was a major strategic and symbolic victory for France, and it marked the end of centuries of English territorial claims on the continent. Accident and death. Henry II's death was both unexpected and tragic. In June 1559, to celebrate the peace treaty with Spain, Treaty of Cateau-Cambrésis, and the marriages of his daughter Elizabeth of Valois to Philip II of Spain and his sister Margaret to Emmanuel Philibert, Duke of Savoy, Henry arranged a series of tournaments. During a jousting match on July 1, 1559, Henry faced Gabriel Montgomery, the captain of his Scottish Guard. A splinter from Montgomery's lance pierced Henry's eye and brain, causing severe injuries. After 10 days of agonizing suffering, Henry II died on July 10, 1559, at the age of 40. His death marked the beginning of a period of instability in France, as his sons were either too young or too weak to maintain royal authority. His widow, Catherine de' Medici, would emerge as a central political figure in the years following his death. Legacy. Henry II's reign is often viewed as a continuation of his father's policies, but with increased emphasis on religious persecution. Though he attempted to centralize royal authority and maintain Catholic dominance, his repressive measures against Protestants inadvertently contributed to the outbreak of the French Wars of Religion, which erupted shortly after his death. Despite his relatively short reign, Henry II's life had lasting consequences. He oversaw the last of the Italian Wars and the final withdrawal of France from Italy. His policies deepened religious tensions that led to decades of civil war. His descendants, though often weak rulers, would reign during one of France's most turbulent periods. Henry II remains a complex figure, a monarch caught between Renaissance ideals and medieval religious orthodoxy, a warrior king devoted to tradition, yet unable to halt the forces of change that would reshape France.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel.